Okay, and so in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about how do they differentiate their product, and we're going to go into one particular part of this. Okay, so we're looking at this product differentiation. So what are some things they can do to differentiate their product? Okay, so one thing they can do is they can innovate, and innovation is mostly good. And so this is new design, new features, improve the quality, change it. This is both good and some people have some criticisms of this in the fashion industry, for example, innovation. So in some industries, it could mean making things better, like making something last longer or making something work better. But there's also some degree of innovation that's just change. And some people would argue, for example, in the fashion industry, the constantly changing fashions are partly an attempt to get people to just keep buying, okay, and buy more and more and more. Class a chance to address that in this week's discussion, or those kind of issues. Okay, brand. Then we have the second one. We have brand management. Okay, so this was help consumers to distinguish your brand from others. So you try to make a known brand, and you want your brand to stand out. You want people to know your name. You want to get your brand out there. This is advertising, but it's not just advertising. You're managing everything about your brand, including the reputation that your brand has. So because, for example, a bad reputation about something about your production process or the way you treat your workers or a political stance or other things, these days could have a really big effect on your business. Okay, so this is overall brand management. And then the final one is what we're going to talk about here is advertising. Okay, so we're talking about advertising. And there's quite a lot of debate actually in economics about whether advertising is a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, and so I just want to expose you a little bit to that debate, and I don't think this part is in your textbook, so I want to just expose it to you here. So some of the negatives of this thing. Okay, so some people will see advertisement is like a type of manipulation. It's trying to manipulate your tastes. Okay, so there's lots and lots of advertising that try to convince you that you need something. So you might see this with the latest smartphone, or where it's trying to convince you that you need this product, or a new car or something like that. And if without this product, you'll be somehow lacking, right? Another criticism against advertisements is it actually limits competition, some people say, by convincing consumers that the products are more different than they really are. So maybe two products are not all that different, but advertising might convince you that they are. Okay, they're more different than they really are. And the big criticism of advertising, it raises costs. So advertising costs money, and this makes goods more expensive. Okay, so advertising, the point of advertising is for the firms to increase the demand for the product and also to make the demand more inelastic, but it makes goods more expensive to spend money on advertising. Okay, so but like I said, it's a debate. There's not a clear winner here, and so there must be some positives. Okay, so what are some of the positives? So one of the information is advertising. Certain types of advertising can give you information. So it can convey information about such as price, location, and maybe features. Although not all advertising has that kind of informational type, but it could. A big one, and this is something we often forget about, it allows new products and new firms to reach customers. So actually, if there was no advertising allowed, then new products and new firms would have a hard time to find customer base because no one knows about them. And so if no one knows about them, they would just continue, often many people would just continue buying the same thing they already know about. And so this gives firms a chance to reach customers. Okay, and the last one is kind of a little bit interesting, is advertising provides a signal of quality. Okay, so a signal is something you can see, and then you say, oh, so basically the idea is if you spend a lot of money on advertising, then you must think that you have a decent product. Okay, so this is actually especially true for especially for expensive, high quality. Okay, so if you have a commercial on the Super Bowl that's well done, or you have a billboard in the middle of a very big city or something like that, this is a signal that your brand has something going on. Because the fact you're willing to spend that much money on this tells the customer that you think your product is good, and you think that if they try it, they're going to like it, right? So you think it's worth your while to do this. So this is the idea that we have from this, and I'm going to give you a chance to weigh in on all this stuff in the discussion for this week.